Atrioventricular blocks. So atrioventricular blocks are of first degree, second degree, and third degree. Third degree is your complete AV block. Okay, so first we'll discuss the individual blocks and then we'll see in short how to easily identify them. So first degree atrioventricular block. So why it occurs? Because there's slowed conduction through the AV node, and common causes include the enhanced vagal tone and pharmacologic AV node blockade. Okay, because of drugs. And what are the key features? So constant. So the PP interval, the PP interval is constant with the P wave preceding each QRS complex. Prolonged PR interval more than zero point 0.2 second, which is also one large box, and regular rhythm with constant RR intervals. Okay, so PP intervals are also constant, RR intervals are also constant, and PR interval is prolonged. Okay, so that is PR interval prolongation is the basic mechanism. Okay, then we have Mobitz type 1, second degree AV block. So, second degree AV block has two types, Mobitz type 1 and Mobitz type 2. So, Mobitz type 1 is known as Wenke bag phenomena. So, what is the pathophysiology? So, there's a disrupted conduction. Again, it's usually within the AV node. And again, it's because of enhanced vagal tone, pharmacological AV node blockade, ischemia, or age related conduction degeneration. That is why many a times we see Mobitz type 1 in elderly patients. Okay, so again, the PP interval is constant. The But here there is a catch. Okay, so PR interval keeps on lengthening till a QRS complex is dropped. Okay, so that is why, because the PP interval is constant and the PR interval is lengthening, so that is why there is a progressive RR interval shortening, and QRS complexes are usually narrow. Okay, now we have Mobitz type 2. Now, this is because of disrupted condition, but below the AV node. So, type 1 is usually within the AV node, and type 2 is the problem is below the AV node. So, what are the common causes? So, the ischemia and age related conduction lesions. Again, it is age related and also seen in ischemia. Okay, so here the PR interval is constant, like type 1 AV block, PR interval is constant, but the QRS complexes are randomly dropped, and the QRS complex can be either wide or narrow. So in the same ECG, you will see some QRS complexes are narrow, some QRS complexes are wide, and the QRS complexes are randomly dropped. Okay. Now we have third degree, that is complete AV block. Now here there's a complete blockage of the atrioventricular conduction, so that is why the atria and ventricles they contract independently of each other. So there is an atrioventricular dissociation. Okay, so ventricular rate is usually less than 50 beats per minute, and the atrial rate is fast. Now the PP interval is regular, the RR interval is regular, but there is complete dissociation of the P waves and QRS. So there is no relation between the P waves and the QRS complexes. Okay, so QRS complexes can occur without a P wave before it, and P waves may not be always followed by a QRS complex. So wide QRS, and very important is that the QRS complexes are wide. So it's a because it's a junctional escape rhythm. That is why the QRS complexes are wide. Okay. Now how to easily distinguish? Okay. So first thing is that we will see whether always the QRS is having a P wave before it or not. Okay. So if the QRS is having all the QRSs are having a P wave before it. Okay. So P wave before it. Okay, so let's see. This is having a QRS, so this is having a P wave before it. Okay, P wave before it, before the QRS. All the QRS are having P wave before it. So this way you have to say. So if it's like that, then third degree is ruled out, because in third degree the QRS can occur without a P wave before it. Okay, so so third degree is ruled out because third degree the QRS can happen without a P wave before it. Okay, so third degree is ruled out. Then second thing which we will see is whether the PR interval is constant. Okay, so if the PR interval is constant, that is this thing. Okay, so if the PR interval is constant, then the Mobitz type 1 is ruled out, because here we have the PR lengthening. Okay, so till the QRS is dropped. So Mobitz type 1 is ruled out. So either it is first degree or it is type 2. Now, third thing what we have to see is the QRS. We have to observe the QRS. So if within the same ECG you have narrow as well as wide QRSs, and sometimes the QRS is randomly dropped without any pattern, randomly dropped. Okay, that means you have a P wave, but where is the QRS? You have a P wave, but where is the QRS? Okay, so the QRS is randomly dropped, so then it is Mobitz type 2. If not, that way everything is regular. P wave is always followed by QRS. QRS are narrow and they are regular. RR interval is constant. PP interval, everything is okay. But just one problem is there, that is the PR interval is prolonged, that is more than zero point 0.2 seconds. Then it is a first degree AV block. So this is how we can simple in a simple way we can diagnose it. So we have to see the p before qrs is happening or not, and whether the qrs is morphology. So we have to see whether it is narrow, wide in same ecg, or it's regular, and whether it is randomly dropped or not. Okay, and we have to see the pr interval is constant or not. So this way we can simply diagnose, or we can distinguish between all the three types.